tightening its siege on almost 2 million people living in Gaza by further restricting the flow of goods into the territory. It's planning to ban all fuel imports through the Karam Abu Salem crossing, while food and medicine will need permission to go through. Karam Abu Salem is the sole commercial crossing into Gaza. It is vital for the flow of fuel necessary for people who only get up to 6 hours of electricity a day. Well, let's get more from our correspondent Stephanie Decker. She's following this from West Jerusalem. So why, Stephanie, is Israel imposing even more restrictions on Gaza, which is already under siege, and what impact are these further restrictions going to have?
Well, this is all about Israel putting pressure on Hamas to stop the incendiary kites and balloons which have been crossing the border and burning thousands of acres of agricultural land on the Israeli side. Now, this started really as part of these right of return protests going on for almost over 2 months now, and they've caused incredible damage, and it's also put the Israeli Prime Minister under huge pressure to do more. So yes, we have the ceasefire because we had this huge escalation on Saturday between the two sides, Hamas and Israel. However, the Israeli government and the military have made it very clear that stopping the kites and the balloons is not part of that ceasefire. So this is something that is ongoing. This is pushing Hamas, squeezing Hamas even further to try and get them to stop. Hamas has said to Israel in the last couple of days that it will take time, it will take a few days. So you're seeing this sort of back and forth, Elizabeth. At the moment, the ceasefire is holding. It is fragile. Anything can really happen. Things are very difficult to predict when it comes to this conflict. But I think also down the line, a bigger issue to address is the humanitarian situation, as you mentioned. The fact that now no fuel will be going in, no cooking gas as well will be going in. Also, the fishermen of Gaza now can only go on 3 nautical miles, not 6, which was the initial restriction. This is a huge cut. So, aid agencies, Palestinians will tell you this is collective punishment. Israel's hoping that this will force Hamas to stop. What Hamas wants is some kind of let up on the blockade. Even the Israeli intelligence services and the military have been warning for a very long time now that the blockade is not sustainable. If the suffocation of Gaza's people continues as it is now, it could lead to an all-out conflict. So a lot of things to talk about, to sort of compromises on both sides, but at the moment, certainly the suffocating of that border crossing even worse. So we're going to have to wait and see how Hamas responds.
Stephanie, thank you very much for that. For now.